Hey everyone, I'm Webb and founder and CEO of Flowdrop. This week we're rolling out some massive updates to give you more control and more power than ever with our workflows. First up, you have human in the loop forms. Now you can have AI pause and ask for approval before doing steps, review changes in real time, tweak what you need, give it all kinds of feedback and information so it can give you the best outcome ever. Second, we've integrated Appify with one of the world's biggest marketplaces for automation tools where you can get data from anywhere. Google Maps, social media, online retailers, you name it. Whether you're doing competitor research, monitoring social media trends, scraping leads, Appify brings data into your workflows, no code required. Plus, we added YouTube video to text extraction and real-time workflow checks so you always know what our Copilot is doing and you can keep and discard changes effortlessly. Let me show you how it works because with Flowdrop, if you can chat, you can build. Moving on over to the app, we'll be able to check out those new features. First, we're going to take a look at what we can build with our Appify integration. We'll go ahead and ask our assistant to generate an Appify actor workflow. We'll just leave the Appify actor blank for right now and go ahead and generate that workflow. All right, it's just going to take a second to generate this workflow here. All right, here's our workflow. See a manual trigger here, which will start the workflow, and then we'll click into this run Appify actor node. Inside the Appify actor, you'll see an actor ID. We'll get that from the Appify website and an input. All right, heading over to the Appify website, you'll see get real-time web data for your AI. Appify is one of the biggest services in the world for getting real-time web data for your AI. You'll notice at the top you'll have Instagram scraper, Facebook scraper, TikTok, Google Maps. If it's on the web, you can scrape it on Appify. What's scraping? You can go ahead and get data, posts, information, whatever's available on the internet. You can just pull that in and perform all kinds of operations with it. Right now, we're just gonna check out a YouTube transcript generator. You'll notice that this YouTube scraper is free to use for Appify, and then head over to Flowdrop and put it in that node. All right, now you're gonna head over back to Appify and we're gonna take a look at that link. That's where we're gonna find this actor ID. It's going to be the middle of the Appify URL. You'll notice the input section where it'll show you exactly what format to input in your Appify actor node. You can go ahead and copy that on the website. On the left, you'll have the username of the creator of the actor, and then on the right, you'll have the actor name. They're separated by just a backslash. All right, we'll paste that into this actor ID and then we'll go ahead and give this a run, test to see if it works. A YouTube video transcriptor is gonna go over to the link that you give it from a YouTube video. It's going to scrape that YouTube video. It's gonna give you a transcript from that whole video, and then you're gonna be able to do all kinds of stuff with it. You can summarize it, you can transform it into something else useful. You could build a curriculum off of it. Really the number of things you can do with it are endless. You could chop it up so that you could clip it into other forms of content, repurpose it. All right, we've got a completion, and you'll notice, all right, it looks like it's come back with a full transcript here. Here's just the text. Looks like it went to a Rickroll song. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna turn around and desert you. Looks like they had some sense of humor, leaving that as the sample URL. Once you've gone ahead and pulled in this YouTube transcript, then you can add nodes down your workflow that do things with it. We're gonna add an AI node so that we can use this transcript for some kind of process, right? It's a common use case. So when you want to do that, you make your LLM prompt node by dragging the edge and then dropping it to canvas, going ahead and selecting or searching for that node. And then you can drag the output from the previous node, the transcript. You can see it on the right of the screen here, input data, and you'll just drag that into the prompt section, and then you'll write a prompt, basically whatever you want to do with this data or whatever you want to make from it. But yeah, that's exactly how to use Appify. You can use any node that doesn't have a premium subscription service for now. If we notice a lot of people are using our Appify node and scraping things on the web to get information, then we'll make sure to add more functionality for you guys to use more Appify actors in the coming weeks. Okay, let's go ahead and try out our new human in the loop form node by sending it to my email. This will be for approving our workflow to continue. Now is a good time to talk more about our new feature. I'm excited, it's a good one. The human in the loop form, whenever you have a workflow where you want to do something with a layer of approval or you need extra feedback, like in workflows where AI and humans work together, it can be helpful to have that layer of approval, that second look, just to make sure that you've generated something that you like the look and feel of and you're happy with it. We have a manual trigger and a send approval form, that's the human in the loop form, and an email that gets sent with the form. Clicking into the form node, we see an overview of the form that's been created. You can see how you can click into the form and edit the fields. At the top, you have the form title, then the form description, which is optional. You have the submit button text, basically the text that's going to be on the button on the form. Then you have the form fields at the bottom. You can add a field, label it, choose what kind of type it is, text, text area, number, drop down. There's a check mark, whether or not each field is required. Then you have the drop down options, just an example. And that's pretty much it. You can delete them, save at the bottom. Now let's go and head over to check out the output of the form, because that's what's going to happen next. See here in this email, we have the form response with the approval status, and then we have form response with the comments from the form. So this is an example of how the form's going to send out. Let's head over to another workflow where we can, let's take a hop over to another workflow where we can take a look at the human in the loop form in a practical use case, and that way we can see the anatomy of it just a little bit better. Alright, here's that workflow. Starts off with a manual trigger, then it generates a LinkedIn post. Naturally, it has a human in the loop form right after that. You might want to use a human in the loop anytime you have AI do something where you'd want to have a second set of eyes on it. Anytime you have something that a customer is going to see, or it's a critical point in your workflow, you're probably going to want to have basically like a human in the loop at that point. So you have a form that gets generated up here. You see that when that happens, it sends an email carrying the form so that you can interact with it. Once you do so, you have the form submitted right here. If it's positive, it'll go and post that to LinkedIn. If not, it'll end. But you also have it where it goes and regenerates a post. You could give it feedback. The point of this demo is for you to understand what the human in the loop node is, what it's useful for. Basically, like whenever you have AI or a sensitive point in your workflow, you want to have some feedback at some point in there, you go ahead and use this node, and thank you for joining me on today's demo. We look forward to seeing what you guys make in Flowdrop, and happy building.